In the Know, a radio program talking to the newsmakers in Ogle, Lee, DeKalb counties and beyond, keeping you in the know. Here's your host, Charles Van Horn.
Good morning and happy holiday Sunday. Yeah, Labor Day weekend in full force. Joining me in studio, Rochelle Mayor John Bearrows. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
A big holiday weekend. Make sure everybody's traveling safe. If you're on the road, maybe getting out there for some Sunday early morning plans. Buckle up, of course, and drive safe in and around.
Yeah, we hope everybody travels safe. You know, tomorrow's going to be one of the busiest days on the road, too. So
yeah,
a lot of people have maybe an extra day off Tuesday, and they may be traveling somewhere Monday and Tuesday. So just be very careful.
Yeah, sleep in as well, if you can. Enjoy it. A lot of, speaking of traveling around the area, that I-39-38 project, IDOT's getting into that full steam, aren't they? Planting those orange barrels.
They're really moving along out there. That's really taking shape. That's going to be about a 2.5-year project, and they're really getting at it.
Yeah, so that's good to see them moving a lot of dirt this early. But let's talk about the business of the city of Rochelle. On Monday night, you guys presented a communications directive. Jenny Thompson worked really hard on putting this together. It was a all-encompassing guidebook, not only for how the city should communicate with the public, whether it be in day-to-day communications or in crisis, but also to employees internally. And I think the key is the employees of the city of Rochelle. I am not a math major, but in all honesty, the city of Rochelle is one of the major employers in the area.
Absolutely. You know, this program, as you said, you know, Jenny put a lot of time and effort into this. But I will say also that a lot of what's in this program is what we have been doing in the past with some additions. But we put it in a actual format that the city council unanimously approved. This way it involves, as you said, communication with our employees. It's all about transparency and making sure that we have the ability to be transparent, not only to the general public, but to our employees. You know, if there's things that we need to get out, it's a tool that we can use immediately. We also have, as far as training and such, you know, we try to not only the transparency, but as we talked about in events that are something that we hope never happens. We do, you know, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, we did an active shooter training citywide. So it involved police department, fire department, city staff, personnel. I was a part of that. A very good training. So all of that stuff in the communication and transparency is all a part of this program. But the very biggest part of the program was that the purple came back as our city color. You know, we've heard about that a lot, and I will say that, you know, I would sum it up as the people spoke and we listened. And I think that says a lot for the way, you know, you always get mixed reviews on the social media, can have all kinds of things, and every action has a reaction. You know, I've seen comments that, you know, we should have included the wheel in the purple instead of the R. And, you know, we try to do what's best, but there's always somebody that can find something we should have done. But I think not only Jenny, but the entire staff that works on implementing this program, it's going to be a lot of work, and you have to work at the communication and transparency, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And one thing that was in the plan and encouraging was recognizing the hardworking employees of the city of Rochelle with different honors and things like that. And I think it's very important to highlight some of the unsung heroes, especially because Rochelle has so many different facets. You've got your own electric company, your own water company, your own railroad, never mind streets and sanitation stuff. I mean, you guys are doing it all, and that's a lot of hardworking people stepping up and going above and beyond for Rochelle and its citizens, and some of those citizens are those that work for the city. So, I mean, that's got to be good. You guys always go out of your way to recognize, certainly when there's individual holidays like Telecommunicator Day. Like you'll bring the telecommunicators in from the police side of things and recognize them at City Hall. I think there's opportunities for all the departments to get recognized and do things like that. And I think that was the neat thing about that. And the bringing back the purple that is just warming everybody's hearts. But I have to say that it's going to be a while before everything goes purple. Like, this isn't going to be happening tomorrow. You guys aren't going to be out there with the rollers and the brushes anytime soon. This is going to be as things need to be replaced, they're going to get purple, right?
Well, and we already did start with the purple bottom on the water tower. That was kind of an anticipation. But back to your recognizing employees, as I said early on, a lot of things within this program are stuff that we're already doing. Mm-hmm. And if you remember back, the city manager works very hard at trying to recognize someone that goes above and beyond with what we called our Good News Award. And usually at the council meetings, he would hand out a Good News Award for something somebody did that really otherwise would go unnoticed. And I think that's extremely important. It's you said it best. Our employees, out of the 140 plus employees, I really feel that each one of them has their heart in Rochelle, and it's not just a job to most all of them. It's their hometown. They're doing something to benefit the citizens of the community. They enjoy what they're doing, or they wouldn't be here. But I think that, it just says a lot about the character of our employees. And I've said it before, I really feel like we have all the right players in all the right spots to make a great team. And we're all pulling in the same direction. You have to set when you're in, whether you're an employee or whether you're an elected official or whether you're a city hall staff member, department head, you have to realize that you're not there for your own personal ideas, and not ideas, but your personal opinions on what's the best. You have to look at what's best for the entire community, period. I may not like it, but if it benefits a big part of the community, then that's something we have to do. And that sometimes can be a hard line to separate, but I think we've done a great job. And when I say we, I mean the citywide employees, staff, and department heads and everybody. They do a great job. We may not always agree, but we agree to find some neutral ground that's best for everyone.
The Rochelle City Council meetings, if you have not attended, no tickets to get in, free admission.
Free admission.
Yeah. Every Monday night is scheduled, along with some other hearings too, but typically they're on what is it? The first and second and fourth Monday.
Second and fourth Monday at 6:30 p.m. at City Hall in Council Chambers.
And the important thing to remember is they'll do the Pledge of Allegiance, and then you have to remain standing. Don't be that person that sits down every single time. I've fallen victim to that many times. You can also watch them on the YouTube channel, and that's really what I want to talk about was the fact that Rochelle is one of the communities that puts that business out there. Good, bad, and different. Those council meetings are broadcast on YouTube. You can watch them live or catch the recording of them. And that is very important because that gives people the chance to, if they missed it, go back and see what the discussion was before something. And you guys do a good job of that too as well, of discussing exactly what it is you're passing, because you're being responsible with the taxpayers' money as best as you can be, and emergencies arise that you have no control over. For instance, the water tower that sprung a little baby leak the other day. Certainly a hubbub around everything. You guys got a contractor in, you fixed it. And that was one of those, I wouldn't say it's a happy accident, but it's a solvable problem. And I think the role of city government is to make sure problems are solvable.
Yeah.
And I do think that you guys do a good job of solving those issues when they come up. But there's always things out of your control. And that goes back to the communication plan of letting the public know. Now, you guys do reach out via Facebook all the time when there's emergency street closures, things like that. Were there other methods of communication sort of laid out in that plan besides people who aren't maybe on digital media or on social media?
Well, and I think it's going to come back to, one of the biggest things that happened for us as a city was when our local newspaper closed and eliminated our ability to post our budgets because that's state statute. We have no choice. We have to post that or publish that in a local paper that's distributed within your community. However, there's a great thing about Rochelle, and that is that we have a great radio station and a great newspaper now again. I see the first issue just came out this morning. A little difference in the appearance of it, but at least we've got local news. With both of you, both as print and news media on the air, I think you folks do on both sides a great job of making sure that the people are aware of what's going on. You guys always attend our, whether it's a ribbon cutting, whether it's a groundbreaking or whatever, and that shows that we've got a great relationship with both forms of media that we have here locally, and we make sure that they're invited in press releases and whatever so that everybody can stay informed. And I have to say that since I've been mayor now since 2019, I don't know of anybody that has ever really come up to me and said, geez, I didn't know you were doing that. How come you didn't tell us?
Yeah.
We do our very best to make sure everyone is informed. And one of the things that I have an article going out that I'll share with you to have on the radio station website as well is I talk about the fact that each month I do 3 different presentations publicly throughout the community. And a lot of people don't know that. And so I want to make sure everybody knows that if these meetings are open to the public, we have Hawthorne Inn, we have Lincoln Manor, we have the Senior Center, and, every month on a specific day, I have those presentations made to those groups. And those are open to the public. So anybody can come, anybody can listen. If they've got questions, they can email me, they can text me. Most everybody, my city card's got my cell phone on it. I'm very approachable, very easy to reach out to. So if they have questions, I had a meeting early last week, at the Senior Center, for example, and I had an individual that asked me some questions that I could not answer. And if I can't answer them, I'm going to tell them they can't answer them. I'm not going to say, something that isn't true. So I've lined up for some folks from the city to attend next month's meeting to be able to give those answers. And it's not that we're trying to hide anything. It's just that I didn't have the actual answer. So, transparency is something that we work very, very hard on. And also we take great pride in making sure that our community stays safe. In the training, whether it's an active shooter training, whether it's whatever, we're very happy to have that going on within the community, and that's extremely important. We talk about quality of life issues in a community, and I'm of the belief that a quality of life issue, the number one quality of life issue is your community safety.
Yeah.
You can have all kinds of things to do, but if people were afraid to come out of their house, it doesn't do any good. So I commend our police department, our fire department for the service that they provide for health and safety. And I think that is our number one item that we have that we can hang our hat on. Hopefully in the future, we're going to be doing some video clip commercials that we're going to be running about quality of life issues within the community. We need to be better salesmen of our community to other folks. So that's something that we're in the process of working on. There's a lot of things going on within the city, but basically if they would kind of attend the council meetings or watch the council meetings, they can pretty much stay in the loop of what's really happening. And, we all hear about things in the state, in Springfield or in the federal government. We here in the city of Rochelle, as your council, your city council, those 7 members, when they make a decision, it will affect the local people quicker than any other form of government.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to reach out and ask a question, because not everybody's going to know all the ins and outs of anything that we may be passing. So we try to do our best with that.
When it comes to communications, obviously glad to have your visits here. Other city department heads have stopped on by last week. Jeff Fagenshoe was in, talked about a bunch of different issues, including economic, and just touching in the closing minutes here. The city does its best to get with the presentation of the budget and regular audits and things like that to keep things on the up and up. You guys have some big shoes to fill.
Well, yeah, we're losing Chris Cardat to retirement. Chris has been with us a long, long time and has done an amazing job. As you said, we've got the Distinguished Budget Award several years in a row. And I'm not saying, each one of us is replaceable. If we think we're not, we're fooling ourselves. But when you have someone that you're going to lose that many years worth of experience, it kind of breaks my heart. Chris has been amazing to work with, and her full department. And as I say, it's not just Chris, but she's been the director that has done an amazing job. And I hate to see her go, but I'm happy for her and wish her the very best in retirement. But you're right. She has big shoes to fill.
Yeah, so if you have experience in city government, large business budgets, and a number of degrees involving accounting and maths, by all means, apply now.
we do have a very complicated, as you said, you alluded to the fact we have very complicated budget and cash flow because of all the different departments we have. So, once again, thanks to Chris for all she's done over those years.
Yeah, great achievement there. Mayor John Bearrows, thank you so much for taking time out your holiday weekend to hang out with us. Talk to you again soon. You have a great holiday weekend.
Sounds good.
Thank you for listening to this week's In the Know. The program returns next week at this time with another great conversation with someone from your community.